What's going on, YouTube? And let's get into another NBA slate for this Tuesday night. So there's only 3 NBA games for tonight. There's a couple NHL games, but there is a ton of college basketball and some really good esports value overnight. So hopefully in this video we can come up with at least one play for Underdog Fantasy, maybe a play for Prizepicks Taco Tuesday as well. I'm not sure if they've released any of the promotions yet. It's about noon Eastern time right now when I'm recording this. But basically, in this video, I'll go through my entire process of making an entry on Underdog Fantasy, what numbers I look at, what lines I look at, what tools I use, and I'll basically show you my process start to finish for when I first open up my computer all the way up until we submit the pick and upload it to my Discord or even TikTok. So I use a website called Daily Grind. It's called dgfantasy.com. It's a paid subscription website, so it's not free. But it is reasonably priced. It's about $60 per month if you pay on a monthly, and it gets even cheaper if you pay for quarterly or annually. If you're interested in signing up for this site, I do have a promo code. It is LayTheHouseRM. They'll give you 25% off when you use that code. So if you sign up with an annual subscription and get 25% off, it ends up coming up to being like just over $1.50 a day. Which, if you're playing, honestly, like more than $10 in a day on Underdog Fantasy or on Prize Picks, it really just pays for itself. This past weekend, in the last few days, I think I've won every single day since Friday, and we're up almost $4,000 profit since then. So, really good run lately. Hopefully, we can continue it into today. Most of my picks are on Underdog Fantasy, which is this site right here. If you don't have an account with Underdog Fantasy yet, but you want to sign up for one, sign up using the promo code LayTheHouseRM, and they'll double your first deposit up to $100. So if you put $100 into the account when you sign up using my promo code, they'll put $200 in your account. You have to play through it once, and then you'll be able to withdraw or keep playing or do whatever you want. But basically, it's free money, just like all these other bonuses on these other websites. So you might as well just give it a shot and use my picks and my tools over on DG Fantasy as well. So let's just jump right into the plays for today. Basically, I'm using their DFS optimizer on Daily Grind. I find some of the best values at a very moment. This changes throughout the day based on the line movement on the sports books and on Underdog Fantasy themselves. Basically, what this does is this compares the line on Underdog Fantasy to the lines on all the other major sports books, like Pinnacle, FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM, Caesars, Bovada, BetOnline, Fliff, all these other sites. And it shows you what the best values are. So I'm going to skip over some of the esports right now just because a lot of them don't start until Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon. And I just want to focus on tonight's slate, which is really just NBA and college basketball. So at the top here, we see this Anthony Davis blocks and steals on the under. It's 3 on Underdog Fantasy, 2.5 on these other prop sites. I generally don't lean towards doing those. If this was more of like a pick'em at 2.5, I'd probably be tempted to take it. But same thing with like the assists here. Piazza Siakam, it's a half-point difference. Eventually this line's going to move from 4 to 3.5. Not strong enough. It's pretty strong, but I probably won't take it in this aspect. Just scrolling down this here, we got a ton of esports, a ton of college basketball. For college basketball, I like to see at least more than one line. So you see this points, rebounds, and assists for Burnett. 16.5 an underdog. On one other sportsbook is also 16.5. So we don't know which one is basically giving us the wrong line or more value on this one. You really just need multiple. So, for example, this Keontae George 3-pointers made under 1.5. You see it's minus 135 odds throughout all the other sports books. So this is a pick that I wouldn't mind taking. So I'm going to start my card out by adding this Keontae George under 3.5, under 1.5 rebounds, under 1.5 3-pointers made, if I can find the line. All right, Keontae George under, well, you see, it's not listed. So Underdog Fantasy has already pulled the line. Unfortunately, this happens pretty often. When you're trying to find the best value, they move lines super quick and a ton of times throughout the day. This updates every few minutes. It's not like super immediate, so sometimes it takes a minute or two to update based on what's showing on Underdog Fantasy. So now we just need to keep scrolling until we find a new one. So some of these college basketball picks look really good to me. This BJ Mack rebounds under 5.5, and this DJ Horn over 2.5 3-pointers made. Both those look really good to me. And honestly, this Malik Brown. So maybe this could turn into a college basketball card that I pick on this video. I think I'm going to start this out by going with the BJ Mack under on the rebounds. Simply because there's more sportsbook options that offer it, and we can have more things to compare to. So under 5.5 rebounds for BJ Mack. We'll keep scrolling through. I'd like to find at least 1 or 2 NBA plays to put in here. I know it's a small slate, but we'll try our best. Jason Tatum's turnovers, 2.5. It looks decent. I could always revert back to these Anthony Davis and Pascal Siakam plays, but we'll keep it on the back burner for now. I just did an update here. The Siakam's looking even stronger. Anthony Davis is looking here as well. So for the rebounds, over 11.5 rebounds, this looks like it's a really good prop we could jump on. So let's go to Davis. Go over 11.5 rebounds with this BJ Mack play. And then we'll scroll through and see if we can find some more. Keontae George, 3-pointers. They haven't pulled this one yet. We could take Marchenko under on the shots on goal. Decent lines throughout. Keep scrolling through a bit. Kobe White on the under on rebounds. Not the strongest because of the minus 125 here, but generally minus 135 or higher is what I look for. Not a bad play. Same thing with the Jason Tatum under 2.5 turnovers. This is probably something I want to put on here. So we're going to add that. We're going to go Tatum. Here we go. Under 2.5 turnovers. And let's make this a 4-pick insured entry. So we'll go back to this Kobe White rebounds. We'll add this one in here. Under 5.5 rebounds for Kobe White. And they actually just pulled the Anthony Davis one before I could even make the entry. So this is kind of the struggle I go through sometimes when it comes to making my picks. And then posting them because they move these lines so fast. Usually like by the second sometimes. So maybe we could find one more. I don't think that George is up, but maybe I wasn't looking. Correct? Keontae George? Yeah, that George is definitely not up still. So we could just keep it as the 3-man, non-insured, have the 1 college basketball play with the 2 NBA. That's probably not a bad look here. So we'll go $250 on BJ Mack, lower than 5.5 rebounds. Tatum, lower than 2.5 turnovers. And Kobe White, lower than 5.5 rebounds. So I just locked that in. I'm going to share my picks. I'm going to go post that in the Discord server. If you aren't in the Discord yet, this is what it looks like. Basically, it's free to join. I post my picks in here every single day as soon as I make my picks. You see there's a ton of action going on here. Other people posting their picks as well. So really good place to be. It's linked in the description of the video below, and I'll probably comment the link as well. I highly advise joining it. This is the most up-to-date way to get my picks before the line movement. So basically, all you have to do is go into the Discord. If you go to my RM's picks tabs, eventually the image will show up here. You just click the link, and it will apply the exact play to your Underdog Fantasy account. That's probably not a good example here. Let me refresh it. See? And it will apply right there for you. So all you have to do is click add 3 picks to entry, put however much money you want on it, and then go on to the next thing you want to do. But that's basically my process that I go through for every single pick. I look through the list here over on Daily Grind Fantasy, try to find the best values on Underdog Fantasy or Prizepicks or Dabble or any of these other websites, and then I make my cards. So Underdog Fantasy, it's always 3-pick non-insured or 4 or 5 picks. You can insure 4 or 5 picks. It's up to you. The value is pretty good either way. Just know if you don't insure on 4 or 5, your odds of winning are really low, like below 5%. But if you're winning more than like 1 out of every 20 of your entries at 4 uninsured, you're making your money's worth. So that's basically my process for making a play. If you have any questions, reach out to me in the Discord or drop them in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the page, follow me on TikTok, and join the Discord server as well. Best of luck on your picks today, everybody.